buenas. There's another video about the Camino. You can leave if you want. I won't be offended. Hello to any real friends that I have watching this. This is probably going to be the first video I ever share on Facebook. Of course, hola a mi familia del Camino. Miss you guys. Love you to bits. I hope our paths cross again. Te quiero, te extraño, y espero que nos caminos se... I need to work on that before I leave. Hola, otros peregrinos también. I have no idea who is going to end up watching this video. There's loads of information about the Camino on the internet, but I haven't seen any YouTube videos like this. Someone might find it and might find it useful, so I'm just going to cover some basic facts, fundamental questions. In the next couple months, I'm preparing for my second Camino in May. As I'm preparing, I might make more videos about, say, the equipment I'm bringing, how I pack my bag, that type of stuff, because I find it really interesting, and I think someone might care to watch it, so... If you don't, I understand, not your cup of tea. Cheers. I just spilled my tea. Off to a good start. What is the Camino? There's not one Camino, there are many Caminos all over Europe, especially through Spain. But the main one that most people think of when they think of the Camino de Santiago is the Camino Francés, which begins just over the French border in Basque Country in the small town of Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port. And it finishes in Santiago de Compostela in Galicia. It's about 780 kilometers. It's an ancient Catholic pilgrimage to the church in Santiago, where it is rumored that the remains of Santiago, or St. James in English, are buried. You do not have to be Catholic to walk the Camino. I mean, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm not religious. In my experience, please, if you experience something different, don't get offended. In my own experience walking in April, May of 2011, I did not meet very many people who were devout Catholics and who are walking it just for religious reasons. Many people are lapsed Catholics, atheists, agnostics, anybody can walk the Camino. For many people, it's more of a spiritual journey than a religious journey. Can I do the Camino? Probably. Is really the best answer I can give you. I met people who are in their late 70s walking it. I was walking it, and everyone in the ages in between. I met a 10-year-old who was walking part of it. The good thing about the Camino is that you don't have to walk 780 kilometers. You can actually only start 100 kilometers from Santiago, or anywhere in between. And there are places to stay about every 5 kilometers. So essentially, if you have all the time in the world, you can take all the time in the world to do it. There are many different ways to do the Camino, and most people can probably find a way that they can work with. What you really have to do is just listen to your body and be realistic about how much you should and could walk. How long does it take? Most people on my Camino probably averaged around 25 kilometers a day. That's about 5, 6, 7 hours of walking a day, and it will get you to Santiago in about 32 days. For me, I was on the Camino for 35 days, but only 32 walking days because I was held up for 3 days because of injury, which of course leads me to my next point, that you should leave yourself more time than you think it will take you. It really, really sucks to get sick or injured and then have to take a bus a few days because you're behind schedule. So give yourself those extra cushion days. Also leave yourself 2-3 days to spend in Santiago, because it's fun to stick around and run into people that maybe finished before you or a day after you. In every corner you go around, you run into somebody else. It's fun. Also, if by the time you reach Santiago you're not tired of walking yet, you can walk out to Finisterre, which is on the coast, on the Atlantic. It was known as the end of the world back in the day because they thought it was the most western point of the world, and that's another 3 days of walking if you're not tired yet. And there's an extra day after that as well to Mujia, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So if you think you might want to do that, leave an extra couple days, but don't count on it because you never know what could happen. I wanted to do it, didn't end up doing it because I was injured. It's just walking. How hard can it be? Don't underestimate how hard it actually is to walk for that long, day after day after day. I got tendinitis in both of my shins, in my left Achilles and in my big right toe. That was a week in. I'd been walking for 7 days and I got tendinitis so bad that I could not walk for 3 days. It went away for a week and then came back for the rest of my time there, which was another 3 weeks or something that I was walking with tendinitis, and it was brutal. By the end of it, everyone's nursing something, whether it's blisters, tendinitis, shin splints, bad knee, bad back. Anything that can go wrong probably will go wrong for somebody. So all I can really say is train as much as you can and don't underestimate it. Don't overestimate your own fitness as well, and youth is no guarantee of success. Because I was 19. I had a way worse go than most people that I ran into, who were 2, 3, 4 times my age. So take it seriously. That's all I can really say. Let me tell you, the bad thing about tendinitis is it changes how you walk. And when you change how you walk, you get blisters. And I got 17 of them. So if you want to avoid the mess that your feet become when you have 17 blisters, 12 of them on one foot. Go for a walk. Where do you sleep? When walking the Camino, you stay in albergues, which are places that are basically hostels that are just for people who are doing the Camino. The conditions vary quite a bit though. Some of them are really new, really modern, really big and clean and lovely, and some of them are really pretty dingy. What you're paying is usually between 3 and 8 euros, and some of them are by donation, which does not mean free. So I mean, realize what you're paying and just be thankful for having a bed and keep an open mind. Some of my best experiences were in ones that I was like, oh my god, am I really sleeping in here tonight? How much will it cost? I'd say about 25 euros a day is pretty safe, because you're spending only about 3 to 8 euros per night on accommodation, so the rest of it is food and beer and wine, which is cheap. So, for 25 euros a day, you can live pretty well. When is the best time to walk? The summer is by far the busiest time. This is partly because St. James Day, which is St. James's birthday, is I think July 25th. So a lot of Catholics walk during the summer to arrive there around then, or to be on the Camino. When St. James's birthday lands on a Sunday, it's declared a holy year, and the numbers double. The last one was in 2010, but the next one isn't until like 2021 or something because of leap years, so don't have to worry about that right now. Basically, downsides of summer, very, very busy. It can be really hot, and you might have the so-called race for beds because there's so many people and there's only so many spots. So people get up earlier and earlier to get there to make sure they have a bed, and makes it, you know, it's a little less enjoyable. During the spring and fall, the weather can be less predictable. Obviously more likely to get rain, but you're also less likely to get 35-degree days. I think it's a good compromise. It's not as busy, but it's definitely not isolated. You still meet loads of people, and I think it's a really nice time to walk. So basically that's most of what you need to know. That's most of probably the most common questions that people would have when they don't really know anything about the Camino. So I hope this was useful to you, or if you've done the Camino, I hope it was just entertaining. Like, I love reading about the Camino. I love hearing what people have to say about the Camino, even if it's something I already know. I wish I had something like this that someone else had made to watch, because it's interesting to see different people's takes on it. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below, or you can go to the Camino forum, just Google that. It's a brilliant resource. Pretty much anything that you could think to ask about the Camino has been answered there. If it's not, someone will answer for you. To all my pilgrim friends who I've met and who I have not met, buen Camino. I hope all is well, and I hope you don't get tendinitis. Nos vemos.